Hi everyone, welcome back to another video, and if you are new here, hello, my name is Choua, and in today's video, I am going to be doing my first update to my Pan That palette. So in my intro, I did introduce my Tarte Be You Naturally palette. This is how it looked like in the introduction. No dip at all in these products. The only marks that you'll see is due to like digging my nail into it, but other than that it looks relatively new. And here is how my palette looks like today. So I'm really happy about this. I see a lot of dips already and some disturbance, so I'm hoping that I can get even more progress out of some of these shades in the month of February. So all of the usage that I am going to be updating y'all today is all the usage from January and the 1st of February, which is the day that I am filming this update. So let's just go in order and start from the very top and go clockwise with Sunbeam. This one is a nice coppery shimmer, and I used this 3 times. I love this shimmer for a very warm kind of professional look. I'm not gonna expect every shade to have very like high usage in the first update, just because I know that's not really realistic. So this shimmer having 3 uses in January is fine with me. Next we have Explore, which is a dark matte, and I used this 11 times. I really like this one to really add some depth in the outer corner. And this brown is not super dark, so I have to kind of pack it in if I do want a more defined dark brown kind of outer corner, and if I don't, then I just go in very lightly. This has a really nice dip already. I'm not too sure if I'm gonna be able to hit pan by the end of February, but the dip is looking really nice and really good. So as long as I keep using this as a outer corner kind of shade, or like even just a liner or darkening the lower lash line, I think I would be able to really deepen this dip here. Next is the shade Dusk. I've used this 5 times. This is the matte pink, and I actually really like this for a very nude, very Asian eye inspired kind of eye look. And there's a little bit of disturbance, a little bit of dip going on, but not too much. I'm hoping that because the month of February is like the month where a lot of people are wearing reds and pinks and even purples, I can get a little bit more use out of this pink during the month of February. Next is the shade Earthy. This shade I did not expect to like that much, but I do really like it. It looks beautiful when I pair it with the pinky matte shade or other pinks in other palettes and everything. It adds the perfect amount of pink and copper and like warmth to the eyes, and I love it so much. It's kind of what I have on today actually, like in the inner corner, not in a corner, but like right in the inner parts of the eyelid. So it really does brighten up the eyes, and it does bring some warmth and some more like pinkiness to the eyes and not just warm copper. So I really love that. The next shade is Tropical. I used this 15 times, and I used it mainly as an inner corner highlight or right in the lower lash line to brighten up the eyes and make the eyes look bigger. So this is my main inner corner sort of highlight shade with any eye looks that I create. And like even if I don't just use this alone on the inner corner, I add this and then I would go in with a different highlight or a different shade to really make it suitable for the eye look that I'm going for. This one has sort of a more shallow dip, but it does have quite a lot of disturbance because of how I use it, which is in the inner corner, and sometimes even just packing it like right in the inner parts of the lid as well. And I'm really thinking that I'm probably gonna get at least 20 uses in February with this one as my inner corner highlight. Next is the shade Crystallized, and I used this 18 times. This has a really nice dip. You can see this is probably the most used and abused shade in my palette, and that's because I used this as my lid setting shade. I think this shade just really does blend and really set the lid without adding any depth or any color really. It's really close to my skin tone. So I've been using this as my lid setting shade a lot. Next is the shade Glacier, and this is like a really goldy one. This shade kind of has a lot of fallout and is a little bit more crumbly, so I do have to be a little bit more careful with this shade. But I have used it 4 times within the month of January, and there is a little bit of a dip, but not too much, and that's because I use it mainly on the center parts of my eyelid, and I really have to kind of sheer it out and use it with other shimmers because I don't know, I just feel like it's not shimmery enough in my eyes to wear it on its own, so I do have to build it with other shimmers, either in this palette or other palettes. But I'm glad I'm still able to get at least 4 uses out of this shimmer. And lastly, we have the shade Daybreak. This is kind of like a lighter tan matte color, and I used this 8 times. I really like using this as a transition shade, especially when I'm wearing more warm toned eye looks or like more brownie eye looks. It's a very beautiful matte. I'm wearing it in my transition right now. I just think it brings the whole look together without putting in too much effort. And so I'm glad I'm able to get 8 uses out of that shade. My current scale that I use right now is not accurate when it comes to weighing makeup, so I am going to order a new scale that's more sensitive to be able to get more accurate readings. I'm not going to post the weights for this update, but if I do get my scale in before I post this update, I will put the weight on the screen. Otherwise, I will update you all on the weight the next time I do an update. So that is the first update for this palette. For the month of February, I want to get 10 uses out of every single shade within this palette and possibly hit pan in Crystallize just because I feel like I can do it. Like I use it all the time every time I use makeup or every time I put makeup on. So I feel like I can get it done. That is it for today's video. Thank you all for just being here. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below on what you would like to see next, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.